facet of private enterprise they're interested in and want to come up and talk to us. So a lot of the work we do, we talk here at the table. But as we start getting into the process of legislating and things like that, I don't spend much time in the office because I'm too busy down at the state capitol. Some of the things we do, and one idea can come from you guys, and it could be anybody about anything. When it comes up, we research it. When we research it, we send it down to the Legislative Service Bureau. They look at it for legalities, double checking, making sure that it doesn't violate the Constitution. When it comes back to us, it comes back something like this. This is called a blueback, blue, and it's on the back. The front of it is our draft legislation, but there's no bill number. Right now, it's just a working copy. So there's lines on this. I take it down to the representatives, and I tell them about this potential bill. If they like it, they sign their name to it. They now become a co-sponsor. If we get enough co-sponsors, depending on how many we want or how fast we need to push it through, we then send it down to the clerk. The clerk then puts a stamp on it, and that stamp is a number, like 5785. These are some of the bills we have going on right now. The bill number, once it's stamped, it's enrolled, and at that point, it goes to a committee. Then it's live on the internet, and you can check on the internet to the progress of this bill, where the committee is, when they meet, if it passed, if there are any amendments, any changes, and it goes through the process to the House floor, then to the Senate, and then the final is when the governor signs it. Some bills can go through as fast as a month. Some of them take 2 years. Some of them never make it to the governor for signature. You would think that any time we put legislation through, that it makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, there is some legislation that is brought up where it is politically driven or financially driven. Anything we do, and I talked to one girl downstairs about stem cell research. Great idea. We want to have the government fund it. Great idea. I said, do you think anybody would be upset about it? No. I said, all right, if we're going to do something that's going to change cancer and cure it, what about the pharmaceutical companies that make the medicine? They're making trillions of dollars off this medicine. If we pass stem cell research and we government fund it, what's going to happen to that company, that pharmaceutical company that no longer is making money off of that medicine? They can go out of business. So when you go up into a committee and you're testifying saying the stem cell research, we need to have a government funded, it'll cure so many ailments, so many cancers out there, people will live longer. Sounds great on the great scheme of things, but someone behind you is going to go, well, the company I work for is going to lose billions of dollars. I have to oppose this for financial reasons. So he has to come up and frame it in a way to say, instead of saying, I don't like this bill because I'm going to lose money, nobody's going to like that answer. He's going to say, this is a detriment to society. We need to make sure we keep this medicine coming through to help people out and try to push away the stem cell idea. So whenever we do stuff in government, there's pros and there's cons. And when you work on the pros, you want to step outside of that box and look at the blowback, as we call it, which are the cons. Who's going to come up and who's going to be against it? Why are they going to be against it? Can you work with them to iron it out, to make it easier? We call that watering a bill down. It can have the greatest intentions, but in the end of the day, somebody out there isn't going to like it. What they don't like, you can either put into the bill, or you can push it through and cross your fingers that the committee is going to vote it through. And they do that. It gets voted to the House floor. We vote on it. If it goes through, it goes to the Senate. Same process all over again. It goes to the Senate committee, back to the Senate for the vote, concurrent vote if it comes back to the House. It's an ugly process. If it works perfect, it's fantastic. But if it doesn't work well, you can see fights. And I was in a second grade, Mrs. Anderson's class at Lakeland Elementary with my daughter. We had the red team and we had the blue team. Couldn't call a Republican a Democrat. So I said red team and blue team. There was 12 on one, 11 on the other. There was a majority and a minority. They were talking about playground and what they wanted to have in it. And they fought and got up and screamed and yelled. And I said, quiet down. I said, you're doing exactly what we do at the House floor. We scream and yell. And they finally got it. One person said, you act like a bunch of kids down there. Yeah, sometimes we do. I mean, we get very passionate about it. But they voted this bill through, and they liked what they wanted for playground equipment. Actually, they wanted a heated water pool, things like that with a water slide and stuff. And I said, are you happy with this bill? They said, yes, we're going to get it. And I said, not yet. Your class next door is the Senate. We're going to take it to the Senate now. Watch what they do. So the Senate's going to look at it. They're going to change the water slide to a drinking fountain, which really ticked them all off. And I said, and your curly Q tree house with a water bucket is now changed. Now they want monkey bars. Well, of course, the kids are all upset. I said, now they're gonna come back to you. Do you want this? They all scream no. I said, now you have to go to conference. What does that mean? 2 kids from the House, 2 kids from the Senate, go in the other room, and they hammer it out. But whatever they come back with, everybody has to agree on. That's what it's like in the legislature.